All right, so today we are going to be reviewing the Truckmall 5x7 LED headlights. I plan on putting these on my 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ. There are a lot of applications that this will fit on. If you have a vehicle that has a 5x7 light, more than likely this will fit it, but check the Amazon link that I'm going to provide and find out if this will actually fit your vehicle. So the company did send me this product to do a review on. The link that I'm going to include in the description as well as in the comments section. I do not benefit from the proceeds, so I'm going to try to give you as honest a review as I can. So in the package, you get the instruction sheet, and then here are your LED headlights. So when you click on the Amazon link, you actually get a pair for the price that you see, which is under $100. And these are DOT and SAE certified. So these are fine to drive on US roads. In the package, in addition to the pair of lights, you also get the 3-prong adapter. Some vehicles require this adapter. You'll need to look at your instructions on how to install this onto your vehicle, but for mine, I believe it's just going to be a plug and play. This is a polycarbonate cover that is attached to an aluminum die cast base. So this product is actually rated at IP67, which means that it can be submerged in water without leaking for half an hour. We're going to partially test that because it does have vent caps in the back. I don't know if the IP67 includes the entire base or if it just means the seal between the actual lens cover and the casting. So I'm going to submerge part of this into the water to make sure that at least the seal up front doesn't leak. That's what's going to get the most water. The rest is going to be runoff, but we'll at least do a partial test on this one to make sure that that seal's good, because unless you have a snorkel, you're really not going to be burying this thing in water, or if you do, you've got other problems. So these lights on low beam put out 5,200 lumens, and on high beam put out about 8,000 lumens. One other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to compare these to the much more expensive ones that I have on another Jeep that I have. Those only put out 1,350 lumens, but it's 2 different bulbs at that amount, and there's a lot more reflective surface inside. So I'm going to compare these at less than $100 to my more expensive ones that are $300 to $400, and you're going to get to see the difference in the light pattern, the amount of light that it puts out, and then you can make a conscious decision as to whether or not this more efficient cost product is going to be the way that you want to go. Let's go ahead and put these in. I'll show you how to install them, at least on my Cherokee if you don't need the 3 prongs, and then we'll go ahead and look at the light patterns. So on my Jeep Cherokee XJ, it's pretty straightforward, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be on most other vehicles. First, I need to remove the plastic housing, and then from there, I need to remove the retaining metal clip. So all of that only takes a Phillips head screwdriver. There's 2 screws for the housing and 4 screws for the retainer clip. So this screw does not want to come out because it's rusted in there. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to tilt that forward, bend the middle a little bit, and then I can get to my light. So your wiring harness is right back here. You can just gently loosen that off the light. So your prongs are attached to the halogen light if you still have these, and then your new Truckmall light will actually have a wiring harness attached to it, and then you attach that to this wiring harness. Now, whether or not you put something on these prongs for rust or anything like that is up to you, but that's all it takes. So in mine, it's a direct fit up. Like I said, that 3-prong adapter might be needed for your vehicle depending. So then you just make sure that the wiring harness connector is through the back hole here and out of the way. Put the light in the retaining ring. Make sure it sits in there properly before you install the entire light. For me, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because it's still on the vehicle itself. Make sure it's seated properly, and then go ahead and put your screws all back in. And there you have it. The light is installed, ready to go. What you need to do though is adjust your light pattern on where you want it to focus. You don't want this light tilted up so that it's shining in driver's eyes. So for that reason, there are two adjustment screws, one here and one up here, that tilts the light down and up and side to side. So the best thing to do is to find yourself a safe area, like at a dead-end road or something like that, and to have your lights on and then adjust them when it's dark so that you can actually see where the light is focusing, and then make those adjustments on the spot. But like I said, I'd recommend doing that in the dark in a safe location so that you can have these properly adjusted. And I'm sure there's videos on YouTube on how to do that. But like I said, it's just two screws, one at the top, one on the side. Mine takes a Torx bit, and then you just screw that back and forth in order to tilt these in the right area. So for the light comparison here, you can see what it looks like with just halogens on low and high beam. And then halogen on the left, brand X on the right, both low and now high beam. And then halogen on the left and Truckmall on the right. So here's side by side, brand X on the left, Truckmall on the right. And then I reversed the order so that you could see the difference, Truckmall on the left and brand X on the right. Here you can see what it looks like with just brand X on low beam and then high beam. And then here you can see Truckmall with low beam and high beam. And then one more comparison side by side of low beam and high beam of Truckmall and brand X. With brand X, you can see a distinct line that kind of cuts off the pattern, whereas with Truckmall, it is a more spread out pattern overall. So now that you've seen the light pattern, I just want to explain a couple of things about the differences between these two lights. I know this is a Truckmall review, but I want to let you know why you've got a brighter, wider pattern with this particular light than you did with the more expensive one. As you can see here, most of your light is coming directly from the bulb area. It's got very little reflective surface, so it's counting on the lumens of the bulb to really generate that light pattern. Whereas with the more expensive one, it's got a 1350 lumen bulb top and bottom, and it's got a much deeper base because it has a lot of reflective surface deep inside the lens, and it's counting on that reflective surface to give you that light. And what that also does is it gives you a very distinct line in the road, which some people may like, others do not like, whereas this gives you a nice wide oval pattern without any break in that light. For that reason, I actually do like the way that these looked when they were installed on the Jeep, and I did like the pattern. I've got used to these, and they are great LED lights. But if I was to choose between the two, I actually do like this. Next, now that I've done that test, I'll go ahead and submerge these in water, and then I will give you my pros and cons of what I found out about this light, and then also somewhat compared to brand X. All right, so for the water test, I've just filled this container with water, and I am going to submerge the lights, both of them, up to the vent caps so that at least the plastic housing is underwater, and see how well they do for 30 minutes. The IP67 test says this is good for 3 meters, but like I said, I don't want to submerge the whole thing. So let's see how they do after 30 minutes. All right, so it's been a little bit more than half an hour. I've been watching it periodically. I have not seen any bubbles come from around the edges. So let's get these out of here and take a look inside and see if there's any water creep. All right, so I took a closer inspection of these, and from what I can tell, I don't see any evidence of any water anywhere around the edges. There's definitely nothing that's piled up. And of course, time will tell on something like this whether or not the adhesive or whatever they used would break down over time. But as of right now, as far as the IP67 rating, at least on the front of these, it does hold true for the most part. Like I said, I couldn't go 3 meters, and even though the dust covers on these two holes seem pretty tight, I did not want to chance submerging those, since obviously they're not going to be submerged in actual use more than likely. So I think that did pretty well. And now let me just tell you what I think of the overall product. So now that I've went over certain aspects of these lights, the big question is, would I purchase them myself? And before I get into that, I want to go over the positives and the negatives of this particular light set and what I've found out while testing these. On the positive side, For me, they are plug and play, as most lights like this would be, but they do come with the adapters if you need them, so you don't have to purchase these separately. I like the way that they fit in the housing. They fit nice and snug. I had no problem with installation whatsoever. I like the design and that it's got a cooling design on the back to keep the lights cool since they are close to the engine. And I do like that they are technically IP67 certified. And like I said, I wasn't able to test out the back, but I am very comfortable with the fact that these are sealed properly out of the box, and I shouldn't have to worry about condensation on the inside. I really like the light pattern. I think they're nice and bright, and compared to the others, I think they did a really good job. So because of all of that, those are definitely reasons that I would purchase this product. The only downside that I found while doing testing was the lens. And again, I think this comes with the price point. Even though both lenses are plastic, these tend to scratch relatively easily. So when I installed these for the light test, I got dirt on the face of these. I tried rubbing it off with my hands, and I can't get it on camera very well, but there are definitely surface marks from me wiping those off. I've tried wiping it off with Windex and with a microfiber towel to see if those marks would come out, and they don't. Versus the more expensive brand, I've had those for 2 years and I really have no marks on the lenses whatsoever. Again, I think it comes with the price point when you expect something to be that resistant to scratches. Is it something that's going to cause a problem? Only time will tell. If you end up getting a lot of scratches, obviously that's going to affect the light output through the scratches. However, I would be willing to take that chance because I want to go with something more cost conscious. I would still go with these and give them a shot at less than $100. And if there's a coupon at the point in time when you buy them from Amazon, it's less than $80 for a set. So for that price point, I would definitely give them a shot and just hope that the scratches don't get too bad and or they don't cause yellowing in the future. But again, time will tell, and I will update the comment in my video if I run into any future issues regarding these lights, or if I see that there's a lot of scratches or deep scratches or they start to yellow. Again, that's going to be in time because I'm going to install these, I'm going to use them for quite a while, see how they work, and then if need be, I'll update the comment on this review. So I've already answered the question as to whether or not I would purchase these. At this price point, I definitely would. I would give them a shot and see how they do. And over the long term, if they don't work out for me, I would go with something more expensive and hope that those might do the job. But for what these are and for the tests that I've done, I do recommend this product. So with all that being said, thanks for watching the review. Leave your comments or questions down in the comments section. Like I said, I'll update mine over time. And leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you thought regarding the review, and talk to you next time.